But when I started, I was as skeptical as anybody else. This Dream Manager program is probably too good to be true. But having done this for 3+ years now, I know it is absolutely not, that it is incredibly impactful and seeing successes, like I said, every day. And the proof is in the numbers as well that I shared.
This episode is all about the Dream Manager program, and we were joined by Travis Snyder, who is the Dream Manager for A1 Garage. The cool thing about Travis's journey is that he has now been the Dream Manager for 2 different organizations, and we talked a little bit about that, some of the differences that he's seen working with those organizations, and of course, we dug into the impact that the Dream Manager program is having at A1 Garage, some of the dreams that are being achieved, and what they're planning to do with the program moving forward. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Travis, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here. It's good to see you.
We are so excited because your fearless leader, Tommy Mello, is doing some really wonderful things in not only his space, but even just out in the world, just sharing great messages and inspiring people to live out their dreams. And he's really just a wonderful entrepreneur. And so obviously for someone like him to bring this program in, I mean, he is the kind of leader that we love working with, because being very intentional about building a culture that people are excited to come to work and they want to build something together. And there's no better program than the Dream Manager in which to do that. And you get to lead that charge, which is amazing. I'm so curious because obviously 2 different companies, very different industries. What has your experience been? What are some of the differences that you've seen with the program?
With TrueScripts, my previous company, it was a very different workforce. It was more office-based, whereas A1, it is a home services company. So it's, our guys out in the field working on people's garages and a very different kind of environment for work. But what I've realized is the Dream Manager program works, whether it's office-based, whether it's home services-based, really any kind of company that truly values their employees and wants to show them, invest in them and show them how much they care. The Dream Manager program works. And so we set up the Dream Manager program a little differently here at A1 than I had done it at TrueScripts. As you know, I know you had Kelly Zemet on a couple months ago on the podcast, and she set up great foundation here at A1, really got the people excited about the program. And I was able to replace her and pick up where she left off. And we're just growing it from there. And the momentum is building. And this year, we're really looking to scale the program even more and to get more people involved, because it's been a huge success. And the word's starting to get out of how much it's helped people in our company.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that, how you start the program and some people might be a little skeptical, but as it grows and more people get into it and they start to see some success and people are dreaming and talking about their dreams, and then all of a sudden more people in the organization are asking to be part of it because they see the power that it has. So there's about 700 or so team members. Mm-hmm. And how many are currently in the Dream Manager program?
We currently have 65 going through the program. And like I said, one of our big focuses this year is to figuring out ways to scale that program, or at least get people dreaming, even if they can't take advantage of the full program, to get them dreaming, thinking about their dreams and building this kind of, I call it a culture of dreams. And it really all starts with, you mentioned Tommy, who's a great leader. He's a big dreamer himself, and he wants all of his people to dream just as big as he does. But he not only talks the talk, he walks the walk with this Dream Manager program. But you have to look any farther than our vision here at A1, our vision statement, which is to create a company that enables our employees to dream big and achieve more than they thought possible. And I always say we've established the first part. The company's created, but now it's continuing to build on what we've already started in terms of allowing our employees to dream. As the Dream Manager, I really feel like I'm one of the key executors of that vision. And so always trying to think about how I can get this culture of dreams going throughout the company, even for people that aren't in the program yet, to get them excited, get them dreaming, so that when they can get in the program, they're ready to go. They're already steps ahead and already dreaming big before we even get going in the program.
That is such a great vision. If somebody read that vision, they would not know what kind of company that the vision was for, which is awesome because it's about attracting the people that want to work for an organization that cares about them. And when you start with that foundation, everything else falls into place when they're like, oh, wait, this company cares about me as a person, knows that I have my own dreams and that I get to work with people and help other people achieve their dreams, and we get to work hard together and achieve great things. That's so inspiring.
Absolutely. And we look for that when we're looking for new employees, and we try to find people that are dreamers and find the people that fit our culture first, and then we can train them. We have a world-class training academy here at A1. So find the people that care about themselves, want to grow, want to improve, want to help the company, and can buy into this vision, and then we can train them from there. And it's about finding the right people first, and we want dreamers. We want dreamers, people that are dreaming even before they get to our company, and so that way they seamlessly fit into our culture.
We want dreamers. Yes. Yes. More people need to be dreaming and going into an organization with that idea of, okay, I have dreams and I'm going to work with this organization and they're going to help me achieve those dreams. And that is a beautiful partnership. You talk about scaling the program. Obviously, you have a lot of employees and we get a lot of questions from people around, well, how can you scale this? Does it work? What type of organizations does it work for, and how big can they be? Is there a point where it just wouldn't work? It's too big. Obviously, we say no, it works for any size organization of all shapes and sizes, industries, everything. But what are your thoughts as you're developing that plan to build the program out and to really scale it?
Yeah. So I think the most important piece is the coaching piece, is the one-to-one coaching that they get. And that is the piece that's probably the hardest to replicate or to scale. That one-to-one time with the dream manager is so valuable, and they can really talk about things that are most important to them, things they're struggling with, action steps, accountability, all those things. But there are pieces that are scalable. And I think just the kind of blueprint, the target dream planner that we go through that talks about identifying their dreams and the why behind those dreams, and then what will happen when you achieve that dream, or what would happen, how would your life be, stay the same or be worse off if you don't achieve that dream, then have them outline action steps. I think those are all things that people could take advantage of, that you can share with your company. And even taking a step back from that, having what we call the dream storm, as you know, where we look at the different areas of categories of dreams in the dream manager book, and just having kind of a big event, or bringing all your employees in, or a big group of your employees in to dreamstorm and have ideas of dreams and just throw out ideas and get ideas from other people. I think that is definitely scalable, just getting people excited from that front. And then sharing resources as well, whether it's a budgeting template or something to help with physical health or relationships, just like articles or podcasts or things, helping them that way by sharing valuable resources are really important. Another thing that's really big in our program here, Day One, is accountability partners. That's not only with the Dream Manager program, but at the work side too. The Garage Techs, they all have kind of accountability partners that they team up with to support each other. And we're doing the same with the Dream Manager program of having people partner up and have accountability partners, because we know how important it is to have someone that helps support you and also keeps you accountable to the things you're going to say. So those are, I think, some things that you can definitely scale about the program for sure.
So it sounds very much like you are creating that culture of dreaming, especially through that dream storm and inviting people to dream and then giving them the opportunity to be part of the program or just be part of that culture of dreaming and just start dreaming and having those conversations with people. So you're kind of coming at it from a number of different directions. I love that everybody really has the opportunity to take advantage of the program, and it's not a mandatory thing. You're really getting people that are committed to their dreams. And when they start to see the success of other people, then it almost pushes those that might be a little hesitant. And gosh, that's just so powerful. When you're working with your dreamers, I mean, you have a lot. You have 65 dreamers you're working with. Do you see any common dreams among them?
Yeah, I do. And just to go to your point real quick, that's another great point, is so many of the people going through the program, they're talking about it with their coworkers, they're talking about it with their families. And so even if people aren't in the program yet, they are still talking about dreams, and they're inspiring their other people around them to dream as well, whether it's family members or their coworkers in the company. So it just grows from there and becomes, again, this kind of culture, the secondhand dreaming, I guess.
Yeah, it's a ripple effect. It's like the butterfly effect, right? Like when you help somebody start to dream, there's no way that they're not going out into the world and having those conversations with their family, their friends, their colleagues, even potentially a stranger, right? I always think it's so fun if you ask someone you just met about their dreams and their eyes light up. First, they're kind of taken aback, and then their eyes light up because people don't usually ask other people about their dreams. And then when they start talking about it, they get so engaged. And then you get to be that random person like, hey, I met Travis in line at the grocery store, and this random guy starts asking me about my dreams. And you get to be this person that potentially impacted that person's life forever and you may never see that person again. Like that's such a cool gift to give someone.
I always share this, but when I was going through the Dream Manager training, when Matthew Kelly joined us on the last day, we all got to ask him a question, and I asked him about the legacy he wants us to leave at our companies as dream managers. And his response was basically that you only know 1% of the impact you truly make as a dream manager. And I feel like that, again, is a ripple effect of like the same with our dreamers as they talk about their dreams and they encourage other people to dream, that they're also only going to know just a small percentage of the people and the impact they make. And even today, like I got a text from one of my dreamers. First of all, she shared a big win in finances, big win in physical health, but also it was like, hey, I talked to a couple people in the company about the Dream Manager program. They're going to be reaching out about questions. So just getting that word out, getting people excited based on the people that are in the program is been awesome to see.
That's so cool. All right, we veered off course, and I want to hear about the dreams that the commonality of some of the dreams that your people are dreaming.
Yeah, and there's probably no surprises here, but the number one usually revolves around finances, people wanting to pay off their debt, which I love, people wanting to buy houses, which we've had a couple of successes. We've had several successes in the company already, but just the past second half of last year, we had both a 23-year-old and a 24-year-old buy homes. You hear often about how the American dream is dead and you can't buy a home anymore, but then I see our dreamers out here buying homes at even at young ages, setting themselves up for success so young, and they'll have that equity in their house and they've got a home for their family. So buying a house is a big one. Tommy, I think that's one of his favorite dreams, is when his people text him and say, I bought a house. Like, it's incredibly rewarding for him. Physical health is another big one. Getting in shape for the way they look and feel, but also for health reasons is a big one. And one that I really love to hear and a lot of our people work on is just improving their relationships with their spouse, with their kids. I feel like that's one of the most meaningful ones. And that's when you realize people are really getting what this program is about. Is, again, it's the journey, not always the destination. It's about your relationships. It's about the experiences. And this is why you're doing it all, is for yourself and for your family and friends, and making sure you have those good, healthy relationships in your lives, and make sure you're taking care of yourself as well as the people in your lives. And so those are the most common and often the most rewarding.
Yeah, these are the dreams that we hear over and over with organizations. So I'm not surprised. Those are always the top one. I don't know that there's anybody that doesn't have financial freedom right on the top of their list.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you feel when people are going through the program? And obviously we love when we're seeing all these successes and people achieving their dreams. Some people have a little bit more of a challenging time doing that and making some progress. What do you see as holding some people back?
Yeah, I think some of it is probably internal. Some of it is external. On the external side, it could be a kid gets sick, or that something goes wrong with the house when they're building up their finances. In fact, we had someone recently who was doing a great job building up their emergency fund. They were so proud, and then they had an illness in the family that they had to take care of with medical bills. Kind of upsetting for them, obviously. But I saw them rebound from 1 month to the next so quickly. It was amazing. They got hit with the medical bills 1 month and they're just dejected because they saved all this money. But then, we had the conversation about, this is what you saved it for. It's not fun to spend the money on medical bills and things like that are unexpected. But this is why you saved it, so you would have the security for when something like this does happen. And after that, they had the blueprint of like, okay, I've done this before, I can do it again. Like I said, from 1 month to the next, they were just back to themselves, like saving money again. It's, again, going back to the journey of, they're not where they want to be with their emergency fund again yet, but they know they have a plan. They're working towards it. And just to see that, like, I think one of the keys to life is how quickly we can adapt to the changing circumstances in our lives. We can either dwell on it and be victims to that. I think it's important to grieve it or to feel those things, but then how do we adjust? Our life is different now. How do we adjust? What does that look like? What's our new plan? And the quicker we can do that, the more happy and successful we'll be. And so I saw a great example of that with him, just quickly being able to turn around. It was his son is healthy now, and he knows that's the most important thing. And the money will come back. So that's an example of an external thing, I guess. And then internally, just the stories we tell ourselves. That's something we spend so much time on in our one-to-one coaching sessions, is the stories we tell ourselves that are holding us back, the words we use, the labels we put on ourselves that just kind of hold us back. And so instead of saying, I'm a binge eater or something like that, you could say, I've struggled with binge eating in the past, but I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm getting better at it. Kind of just recreating that label for who you are, is like, we're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes, and not putting ourselves in this box or category of like, I'm never going to be good at this. I've had struggles in this in the past, but I'm getting better, and I'm going to continue to get better by learning and growing. I think is a really helpful mindset to take on, and something that I encourage our dreamers to do quite often.
This is one of the ways that the dream manager is so powerful is having a dream manager guiding you through those situations, because when we're alone or we don't have that cheerleader, we don't have that accountability, it can be so easy to give up. It can be easy to talk ourselves out of things and get stuck in that phase of, for your dreamer, for example, if something bad happens, we can kind of just stay down instead of getting back up. And so to have that help and support and the content, Matthew talks about the difference between life coaching and the dream manager. What is the biggest difference? It's that being fed new content from the rhythm of life and from the curriculum, and you're feeding them that content that's helping them grow. And then when we do have those situations in life that happen, which life is gonna life, and so something's gonna show up that we did not expect, but now we're equipped with the tools to handle them better and to show up in a different way. And mindset, man, it's so funny. You can read all the personal development books in the world and you still have to read them. Like, you still have to feed your soul this information, because there's just so much out into the world that can be distracting and not great for our mentality. But just feeding that content and having that support and talking about your dreams and talking about how you're going to achieve those and what's the next step and what can I do next. I know you have some really cool numbers that you put to some of the dreams that have happened. I want to hear about some of the other dreams that have occurred from the program, and then some of the numbers that you put together, which is so fun.
Yeah. So at about the 6-month mark, the halfway point of my class, it started in June of 2024. We kind of pulled together some numbers just to see how we knew there was a bunch of success, but we wanted to see, like, kind of quantify those a little bit. And so of the 38 team members that were focused on the areas of finances and weight loss, so it's 38 team members, and this is in 6 months. Those 38 team members lost 360 pounds combined. They saved over $300,000, and they paid off more than $218,000 of debt just in those 6 months, which is incredible to see. And those are just some of the numbers. Like, that doesn't include, like we said, some people bought new houses, some people were promoted through the company, tons of improved relationships, just so many things that are harder to quantify. But it was nice to put some numbers to things, because we know it's a success, but it's not always the easiest thing to quantify. And so that was really cool to see. And I'm sure those numbers have skyrocketed since then. That was a couple months ago. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Wow. That's cool. I love that. And then you had mentioned when people see those numbers, that's just an extra added push to get people excited to be part of the program. Travis, obviously you've done this for 2 organizations. You believe in the Dream Manager and you know that it works. What would you say to somebody who is considering implementing the Dream Manager in their organization, but it sounds so foofy? Like, what is this dreaming? Like, what impact does it really have?
Well, I would encourage you to come to A1, go to TrueScripts, go to many other organizations throughout the country that have Dream Manager programs, and talk to other people, having these conversations on a daily basis, how contagious this is for an organization. People talk about a thankless job where you don't really get thanked for the work you do. And as a Dream Manager, it's quite the opposite of that. People are thanking me daily, and I'm just like, did I even help with that? But they're so appreciative and so grateful to have this program and to have someone who listens to them and they can talk things out with. And, we'll challenge them on areas where they're like being the victim or need a change of perspective or things like that, or can ask them questions, guided or directed questions to help them get past the obstacles in their lives or get more clarity on their dreams or whatever it is. Like, it's almost invaluable really to have someone that's kind of steps into your world. Because normally when we have a conversation, you're talking about yourself, I talk about me, we bounce back and forth. But for the Dream Manager sessions, the coaching sessions, as a Dream Manager, we're stepping into their world and we're kind of understanding, being empathetic with what they're going through, thinking about like those challenges. And, I think there's a big misconception about life coaching and Dream Managers as well, of like, we're here always giving you advice and telling you what to do. And people are like, are you an expert on life? Like, life coach, they don't know what that means. And it is difficult to understand unless you have been experienced getting coached or being in the Dream Manager program, because it's not about me telling you what to do. It's about helping you to your best solutions. And again, like thinking about what are the things you're saying and doing, what are the actions you're taking, what are the words you're using that they're holding you back. Just to have that dedicated person to really focus in on you and your world, it's so impactful and helpful. And I I'm just grateful to be in the role I am. It really is a dream job for me. And I'm just so energized by the work I do every day. And like I said, getting thank yous all the time. And I'm like, did I even help you with that? I don't even know. They're just so appreciative to have somebody who truly cares about them. And I would encourage any company to do it. You won't regret it.
Aw, so you mean as a dream manager, you don't have all the answers, Travis? You don't know all the things and all the answers for people?
I certainly don't have my own challenges and need my own dream manager for sure. So I'm fortunate to have my own network of dream managers that I talk to often that help me out for sure. So I definitely see the value from the dreamer perspective as well.
Oh, yeah. Coaches need coaches. We all need support in whatever it is that we are doing. We all need support, right? Come on. How has it impacted retention and engagement among your team?
It's a challenge in the home services area, no doubt. It's tough. It's hard work and people can get discouraged easily. And so I think just being a company that again, truly invests in their people through this program and through all the other things that A1 offers is really how you stand apart from so many other organizations that just care about the bottom line. Or there's so much competition for employees these days, whether you can work remotely, you can work somewhere across the world from your computer. Home services is a very competitive industry as well. So you have to stand out. And the Dream Managers is a big way we do that. Most of us are working. We're working so we can have a good life for our family and for ourselves. And, that's what we're doing it all for. And that's what our why. So if you can tie your personal why to your work, that is such a great combination to have because, not only do we give you the money, which is just a tool, like we all know money's great, but it's just a tool for hopefully having a better life. It represents freedom, security, comfort, those types of things. And so not only are we going to pay you and give you the money after you work, but we're going to help you craft this dream life that you want and make sure that you're living a fulfilling, meaningful, rewarding life. And so that's just taking it to a whole nother level that, we do here at A1. And I keep saying it, but it's been incredible to see the stories that come out of this program.
What has surprised you the most after becoming a dream manager?
I think probably at the highest level, just the impact that people have experienced through this program. It means the world to me to see the successes that people had with, I've talked about relationships. I think that's probably one of the most rewarding things is just to see like people repairing relationships with their children or their spouses. They're going through a hard time, but they repair those relationships. And the Dream Manager program can help with that. Also getting people out from under the stress of their personal finances where it's just a weight on their shoulders. And when they start making a plan to pay off debt and to save up for a house, just the weight that comes off and just the pressure coming off them because they know they're on the right track and they know they're making a plan. Sometimes it's people that have struggled with their finances for 10, 15 years, maybe even longer. And just to finally have them feel like they have some sense of freedom and ownership over their finances it's not surprising now. I've been doing this long enough. It's not surprising. I see it every day. But when I started, I was as skeptical as anybody else. I would have thought, this Dream Manager program is probably too good to be true. But having done this for 3+ years now, I know it is absolutely not, that it is incredibly impactful and seeing successes, like I said, every day. And the proof is in the numbers as well that I shared.
You mentioned a couple of dreamers that got promoted. How did the Dream Manager program support them in getting those promotions?
That's a personal passion of mine too, because I used to work in a different industry. I was in corporate communications previously, and my degree is in journalism. And at some point, about 10 years in, I realized that's just not what I'm passionate about. I don't think I can do this for 30+ more years and then retire and be fulfilled. And so I went through a personal journey of my own about 5 years ago now, 5-6 years ago, where I really tried to figure out what am I passionate about, what gives me a sense of purpose with work, but also like what are my skills and strengths. And I wanted to blend that together. And that's what led me to life coaching and then the Dream Manager program. So just for my journey, it's kind of a personal passion of mine to figure out, again, what energizes people, what lights people up when it comes to work, where do they get energy and how do they like to help other people. So just having those conversations with them, getting clarity on what they do love about maybe the career trajectory they're on or what they don't love, figuring out like just, what's working, what's not, what really would fulfill them is a big part of the Dream Manager program. And conversely, just having the Dream Manager program on your resume, whether it's for an internal position if you're trying to grow through the company or externally, just putting that on your resume, sharing that you're in this program shows that you're willing to invest in yourself, you're willing to grow, and you're willing to, pursue your dreams and figure out those dreams and then go after them. I think it says a lot about the person, the character. And again, going back to the people we want to hire day one, that is the exact kind of person we want to hire. So I think it's a great thing to have on your resume and to be able to share in interviews. And when you're going for opportunities for going for career growth, like definitely, share the successes you've had in the Dream Manager program for sure.
It does help with self-awareness, which is incredibly important for people to understand more about how they think, how they make decisions, what it is that they really want. And so that level of self-awareness, I think, helps people throughout their career, because now you really have a better understanding of where you are, where you want to go, and how to better serve the organization, leveraging your skill set. When we get really honest with ourselves around what we're good at, what are our superpowers, and then how we can really provide value to other people, while at the same time we get to do the things that are important to us. And that's where you get that sweet spot. So it's cool that some of your team members have been able to continue to move up in the organization. And I would assume that some of that has to do with the mindset, the content that they're being fed, and the things that they're learning through the program on, and really just how to think strategically. I mean, dreams help us think more strategically, right? Like, we show up differently when we have a dream, whether it's a personal dream or professional dream. So really just giving people so many new skills in their life. Well, it sounds obviously that there's good things happening at A1 Garage. We're very excited to continue to see the growth that you have as you build the program out and more people get involved. And we are big fans over here of Tommy Mello and all the things that he's putting out into the world. And so we're so grateful to you and Tommy and everyone in the organization that's really spreading the word of the Dream Manager, helping people dream. And like we talked about, it's just, let's spread this dream culture throughout the organization and in the world. People, we need more dreamers in the world.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And I do want to, offer, if anyone does want to talk about the program, if they're considering starting the program at their company, happy to talk with anybody. As you know, I'm one of the biggest fans there is. So happy to talk about the program, maybe how they can implement it in their organization as well. And I'm always open to having those conversations. I love talking about the Dream Manager program. So phone's always open.
You are awesome. And I'm sure someone's listening saying, oh, I can talk to Travis. I can talk to a Dream Manager. Well, you heard it here. Yes, you can talk to Travis one-on-one. I know some people just want to have that conversation with an actual Dream Manager to hear about what they're doing and how they're growing and scaling and implementing it and the impact it's having. So there you go. You'll have some more conversations with potential certified Dream Managers.
I love it.
Travis, thank you so much for coming back onto the show. Of course, we'll have to have you come back even again, maybe next year, as you continue to grow, and we'll hear all about how you've been able to scale and then more of the dreams that are being achieved over there at A1 Garage. So thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kate. As always, thanks for your support and thanks for having me today.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you are inspired in some way to start dreaming again, or going and asking your team members about their dreams, having that conversation and building that dream culture in your organization. If you are interested, or if you even thought about what the Dream Manager program might look like in your organization, we would love to have a conversation with you. You can go to thedreammanager.com, fill out that form, and someone on our team will be in touch with you. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you. And until next time, lead with culture.